Welcome to everyone. Today we are going to discussing about another important topic on computer network, which is MIME. So in this session we are going to discussing about this MIME and discussing about two type protocols, which is SMTP, which is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and the POP-TP protocol. What is MIME? So as we discussing about when discussing about MIME, we having as a multi-purpose internet mail extension is there. We calling as a MIME, which means a multi-purpose internet mail extension. The name itself is there, which we calling as a multiple purpose, a multi-purpose things we are using that one. So with the help of this email extension. So in the Bell communication, later 1991, so they capable to the inventor this email services through the help of this internet kind of communication, that in order to expand the limited capabilities of our email system. But what is MIME? This MIME is a kind of add-ons tool, that is a supplementary protocol which allows a non-ASCII commands. Previously discussing about the things that should forming in the ASCII command, but this MIME is a supplementary protocol which allows a non-ASCII command also to send the information through SMTP, which we calling as a simple mail transfer protocol. And it allows user to exchange a different kinds of data files like internet, audios, videos, messages, or like SMS or MMS, all kind of things should be available. And what is the purpose and function of this MIME? So while discussing functionality perspective, or as the usage of prospect, what is the necessity perspective? So is when the world is growing, the number of people are using this email services. So in the growing demand perspective, and the number of people are billions of people usage of these email services. So we want express in terms of a multimedia. So that we calling as a MIME, which we calling as a another email application is introduced, and that is not restricted to a textual data. For example, when we go for this normal email system, we have this limitation of this enter in the restricted to textual data. But while we entering into this multimedia system, when we enter into this MIME application, we can able to we don't have any kind of restriction with that. We can able to enter a huge number of information. Also, is possible for that one, because the growing world, we can able to send the n number of information, lot of information going to send to one person to other person. So it is required for us. And this also important thing is a non-ASCII data. Previously we discussing about ASCII command, we are able to decode all these things, but MIME's transform is acting as a non-ASCII data. So the sender send a NVDA 7-bit data, and that should be delivered to the respective client simple mail transfer protocol. So that message is received by the receiver and it transferred back to the original data. So in this MIME, we can able to use video, audio. You can able to send. We can able to, because we are using the 7-bit ASCII data, we can able to send video files, audio files, but limited length. We can able to send information from one place to another place, like one mail to another mail. What is the features? When you see, we having as users are there, we can able to send information. So you can able to send multiple attachment in the single mail. You can able to send multiple attachment, and the unlimited message length is there, and band attachments are there, like we can be using these images, audios, or video files, which may be divided if needed. And this may provide separate varying the concept of techniques, which is a multi-part message. For example, see this one here, all these things we forming as a non-ASCII command, and we forming as using 7-bit in NAT ASCII command techniques. So we can able to accommodate the n number of length of messages, as well as we can include multiple messages, multiple attachments. We can able to forward that one. That we calling as a MIME only. And what is the header of kind of things? So in the when you go for this header perspective, so any kind of email service or any kind of multi extension or any kind of email services, we having as one kind of header section is there. That means it defines the original data values only. So here similarly we having as a 5 headers are there, so which is similar to add our original header. But what is the first one, which is MIME version? But what is the version here? So it defines the what kind of protocol we are using that one. So it must have a parameter of 1.0. So that indicates the formatting of MIME message only, which indicate the version. And similarly, content type. What is content, which we having as a what kind of data we are using that one, which means what kind of body structure, what kind of data we forming that one. So that indicates the content type value. So there are different types of data types are there, different kinds of links are there, like we are using HTML, or else we are using PDF kind of files. So we can able to using a plain text or audio consent or video consent JPG files or .mvv files. All these things we are using a content version types only. And next one is content transfer encoding. So it defines a method used for encoding the messages, because as we use this 7-bit NVT data, so we can able to encoding or 8-bit encoding that we can able to possible is content transfer encoding values only. And next one, content ID. So which means a unique ID we maintain that one to identify which information we receive that one. And content description. So it defines whether the body is actually the image or actually video or audio files. We can able to description. We can able to define that one. And the next one we calling as a simple mail transfer protocol. The name itself is there, a simple mail transfer protocol. So that in the one of the most important protocol in the application layer is that is SMTP protocol. So here SMTP in the sense a set of communication guidelines that allows a software to transmit electronic mail or internet. We calling as a simple mail transfer protocol, which means in the sense a software to transmit electronic mail or internet, that we calling as a simple mail transfer protocol. So here also we are using as a client MTS system, a message transfer agent system, which may receive the email or which may transfer the email based upon the respective server systems only. So here what happened, a client who wants to send the messages, to a mail open system, which means a TCP connections to a SMTP server and a send across the mail over the connections, who are present in the connection system or internet, we can able to send the information mail across the connection. But the SMTP server is always a listening mode. SMTP service is always a listening mode. As soon as it listens the TCP protocol connection from the client, SMTP initiate the connection from the respective port. The port address is 25. So that should be it always be available to take the connection, to establish the connection. And next one, after successfully establishing connection, the client has to process information, which may send information in the mail instantly. So when you see this one, here the user terminal is there, sender information is there, as well as receiver information is there. So as we get in TCP is raise a request to the server, so it is in a initiate user access agent, like it has to process the connection established between the two things. Once the connection establishment between the user agent value from one system to other system with help of the sent mail queue only, then the client is activated system. The connection establishment between this port 25, that is TCP port 25, the connection established between to address as well as from address. After connection established, the information is transmitted. So here connection establishment is there, information is transmitted, is available. And what is the SMTP range? So when you see, we can able to use LAN connections or WAN connections. So anyway, the information is transmitted through the respective internet communication. So what kind of communication, what kind of mode of method we are using that one? That should be a LAN or MAN or WAN. What are the things we are using that one? So that is the range of our SMTP. So what kind of commands and response are there? So when say previously we having as a commands are there, we having a response are there. So what kind of commands we initiate that one? Based upon that command, it gives some kind of response, like establish the connection, information is transmitted. After successful information transmission, the connection is terminated. See, when see the connection establishment is there, we are using this 25 server over there. So we have 220 servers are ready. We just connection establishment, we share the information, successfully received, then okay. And what is mail transfer system? So in the sense, we have the client model is there, as well we have server model is there. So from address is there, once connection establishment is there, which is 250 OK system is there, and we getting this recipient address, and we getting the some kind of data, and we have two address value, from address value, respect to date and respect to subject, and what kind of information we are passing that one, entering enter body is there. Then that kind of scenario, the information is transmitted from host to server or server to client. And after successful transmission, we initiate in this quit. Should be initiated the quit. The connection is terminated. And next one is important protocol is POP version 3, which we calling as a post office protocol version 3. So as we discussed previously, so there we having this SMTP server was there, same scenario is there, but here also we are using this a POP 3 server only. Previously we are in this SMTP servers, but here instead of this POP version 3, we change it to the faster transmission or faster kind of process. The post office protocol version 3, we are using that one. That we calling as a POP 3 version only. But what is the POP 3 version? When you see POP 3 version, here the sending information is there. Once we establish the permanent connections, but we can able to see how are the information is transmitted, what kind of media we transmit information. So here internet acting as our media, so information acting through the internet communication. So we receive the message transfer agent to the respective mailbox to the respective user agent only. So here same way, but here you see Here is this ISP boxes, Internet Service Provider boxes, additions of this one. So to add the POP3 value, the POP3 we getting the server connection, then direct the connection, then information is received, information is transmitted. But what is kind of Post Office Protocol version 3 is that? Is a standard mail protocol version which used to receive the email from a remote server to a local email client only. It acting as a basically remote email server systems only. So it allows to download email messages on a local computer, read them. Even we can able to we are often also we can able to read the information. But when POP3 connected to email account, the message download locally and removed from the email server. So that is the major things from the POP3 only. So if you are using POP3, message stored in the local computer, which reduce space in the email account by the web server only. Because here you see, once we connected the POP3 connection, email is downloaded local system, then it is removed from the server. So because once the information is downloaded in the local server, the information available it is wiped out from the web server only. So that is one of the things only. So most commonly we are using the POP3 protocol, which we go down the line, which is in the protocol version 3. One is authorization or respective transactions or respective update things only. Who are authorized person, what kind of information, transaction, that one, and whether there is any updates are there, all the things we maintain the records only. Alright, when I conclude this session, so in this session we discussing about these 3 topics. One is MIME, which is multi-prospector scenario, and we are using 2 different protocols, which is simple mail transfer protocol as well as the POP3 protocol only, which is Post Office Protocol version 3. We are using that one. And in the next session we are going to discussing about this World Wide Web. Thank you.